All right, ready to dive deep.
Always.
Today, it's all about the 7 habits of highly effective people. You know Stephen Covey.
Oh, yeah, a
It's like
class.
the guide to upping your game, right?
Totally. In
Yeah.
life, at work, everywhere.
We're talking timeless principles here.
That's Covey, for sure. No quick fixes.
He starts with this idea of paradigms. It sounds kind of fancy.
But it's simple, really. It's how we see the world, our lens.
Like, you know those optical illusions? Same image, but you see different things.
Exactly. Covey uses one with an old woman or a young woman.
It's all about what you focus on changes your whole perception.
Our paradigms, those mental maps we carry, shape how we interact with, well, everything.
Like, if you only see the negative, that's all you'll notice.
Right. And Covey talks about the personality ethic. Looking good versus being good.
Ah, so it's like, you can dress for success, but
But without the substance, it's just a facade.
Covey says real effectiveness comes from the character ethic. Those deep principles, like honesty.
Integrity, fairness,
Yeah.
building that solid foundation.
So less about tricks, more about true character.
100%. Then he brings up the PPC balance, golden goose analogy, remember?
Yeah. You got to take care of the goose to get the golden eggs.
Can't just focus on results, gotta nurture your ability to produce those results.
Otherwise, you'll burn out chasing short-term gains.
Exactly. Applies to health, relationships, everything.
It's thinking long-term. Okay, on to habit 1, be proactive.
This one's huge. We're not just reacting to life, we have choices.
Covey uses Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
Even in that situation, he had the power to choose his response.
Powerful example. We have that space between stimulus and response where we decide.
Not letting the world dictate our reaction.
Right. Focusing on our circle of influence, what we can control.
Not complaining about traffic, just finding a better route.
Now get ready for habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Morbid, but effective.
He says to imagine your own funeral. Whoa.
Forces you to think, what do I want people to say about me? What legacy am I building?
Gets you focused on what really matters in life.
He says, everything is created twice. First in our minds, then in reality.
Like building a house without a blueprint. It might stand, but
Not the dream home you had in mind. That's where your personal mission statement comes in.
a guiding document for your life. What do I stand for?
Exactly. Your values, your aspirations. This flows into leadership versus management, a key theme for Covey.
Ah, the classic debate. Leaders set the vision, managers execute.
Covey believed we need both. Lead our own lives and manage ourselves effectively.
Knowing where you're going and then figuring out how to get there.
Which brings us to habit 3. Put first things first. Actually making it happen.
Time to get practical. Covey's time management matrix.
Important versus urgent. Focusing on the important, even if it's not screaming for attention right now.
Those long-term goals, the stuff that truly moves the needle.
Saying no to distractions so you can say yes to what matters most.
Intentional living. Okay, that's a lot tight to digest already. Covey's really laying the groundwork here.
He is. But remember, this is a deep dive. We're just getting started, ready to put these habits into action.
Let's do it. Where do we start? Covey's got all these tools and techniques
He
from
does. And he emphasizes weekly planning. I know it sounds a bit,
old school. Like, who has time for that?
but trust me on this. Daily planning is just putting out fires.
Okay, I get that. So with weekly planning, you can actually focus on the important stuff.
Exactly. You step back, you see the bigger picture.
All right, I'm listening. How does this weekly planning thing work?
Covey keeps it simple. Think about your key roles. Parent, partner, team leader, whatever.
Right, all the different hats we wear.
Then, for each role, just 1 or 2 big goals for the week.
So not a zillion tiny tasks, just the things that really matter.
You got it. Then block out time for them in your schedule.
Creating that space for the important, not just the urgent.
It's like a roadmap for your week, making sure you're heading in the right direction.
This is making sense.
Yeah.
But what about when things get overwhelming? Delegation.
Right. Covey calls it stewardship delegation. It's not just dumping tasks, it's empowering others.
Delegation can be tough, though. Letting go of control and all that.
The key is to focus on results, not methods. Tell them what you need, not how to do it.
So trusting them to figure out the best approach.
Exactly. But it's not blind trust. Clear communication is key.
Right. Set expectations, provide support, hold them accountable.
Covey breaks it down into 5 elements: desired results, guidelines, resources, accountability, and consequences.
Got it. It's a system, not just hoping for the best.
All right, let's move on to habit 4. Think win-win. Tricky one, especially in competitive environments.
It's easy to get caught up in that zero-sum game, like if someone else wins, I lose.
Covey's all about shifting to an abundance mindset. There's enough for everyone to succeed.
But how do you actually make that happen?
It starts with believing it's possible and having a no-deal option as a safety net.
No deal in a win-win situation. Isn't that counterintuitive?
Sometimes a mutually beneficial solution just isn't there.
I see. So you walk away without feeling pressured or resentful.
Exactly. It preserves your integrity and your boundaries. You're more open to collaboration when you're not desperate for a specific outcome.
That makes sense. So it's really about shifting the focus from competing to collaborating.
From claiming value to creating value. And remember Covey's abundance mentality.
Yeah, the idea that there's enough for everyone to succeed.
That mindset makes a huge difference.
Okay, next up, habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So simple, yet so hard.
Right. We all think we're good listeners, but most of us aren't. Covey says there are levels to listening.
From just pretending to listen to actually trying to understand the other person's perspective.
Empathic listening, going beyond words to truly grasp their feelings and needs.
Walking in their shoes, seeing the world through their eyes.
Without judgment, it's about creating that safe space for them to be heard.
I like that, creating a space for open communication. But how do you actually do that?
Covey gives some techniques. Rephrasing what they said, reflecting their feelings.
Like it sounds like you're feeling frustrated.
Right. It shows you're truly listening, and that builds trust.
Powerful stuff. And he talks about understanding before evaluating.
Like you can't see clearly if you've got blurry glasses on.
We jump to conclusions so easily. Covey's saying, slow down, listen first.
That's key for synergy, which is habit 6.
Synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
It's about collaboration, leveraging everyone's strengths.
Covey uses that example of moving a big rock, right?
Yeah. If everyone pushes in the same direction, it's slow going. But if you leverage everyone's unique abilities,
You can find a much more efficient way.
synergy thrives on trust, respect, and a willingness to understand.
Creating that environment where everyone feels safe to contribute.
And it goes deeper than just brainstorming. It's about scripting others.
Scripting others, what's that?
It's reflecting back to others their best selves, encouraging them to live by their values.
Being a positive influence, helping them see their potential.
Now, on to habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Taking care of yourself.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. Covey emphasizes renewing yourself in all 4 dimensions: physical, spiritual, mental, social, emotional.
So exercise, meditation, learning new things, connecting with people.
All of that. He says even small investments in these areas can make a big difference.
Like that story of the doctor who prescribed time at the beach for a stressed out executive.
It's about reconnecting with what truly matters, with your sources of joy and strength.
So powerful.
Yeah.
It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's essential.
It allows you to show up as your best self for yourself and for others.
Covey's really tying it all together here. Time management, relationships, self-care.
It's all connected. True effectiveness is about integrating all these aspects of our lives.
That's like a symphony, with all the different instruments playing in harmony.
Exactly. And that harmony leads to a more fulfilling, effective life.
Okay, we've covered so much ground here,
Yeah,
but I feel like we've only scratched the surface of Covey's wisdom.
we have.
Yeah.
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a book you can revisit again and again and always find something new.
I'm already thinking about how I can apply these habits in my own life.
That's great. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Be kind to yourself, celebrate progress, and never stop learning and growing.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some of your biggest takeaways? What resonated most with you?
It's like, it really hit me how Covey is not just about productivity tips and tricks.
Right, it's deeper than that.
It's about, building a life that matters.
Yeah.
A life with purpose for yourself and for others.
He's all about that, aligning your actions with your values.
Becoming like a better person along the way.
Not just achieving goals, but who you are while you're doing it.
It's not about being perfect, though, is it?
No, definitely not.
Because we all mess up sometimes, right?
We do. But it's how you handle those mess-ups that matters.
That's where the proactivity comes in, I guess.
Exactly. You can't change the past, but
you can learn from it.
and choose how you move forward. Covey uses this great analogy of a ship's wake.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Can't erase the wake, but you can steer the ship in a new direction.
So you're creating a new wake, basically.
It's about taking ownership, being the captain of your own ship, so to speak.
Focus on what you can control
Your circle of influence.
instead of getting stuck in the
It's
past.
about taking responsibility, learning the lesson, and then moving on.
No point in dwelling on regrets.
Right, right. And this all ties into Covey's idea of continuous improvement.
Like always striving to be better.
Yeah, always learning, adapting, growing. He saw life as this upward spiral.
Always getting a little bit better each time around.
Exactly. And it goes back to sharpening the saw.
Oh, yeah. Making sure you're taking care of yourself in all those dimensions.
Physical, mental, spiritual, social.
If you want to keep growing, you got to keep investing in yourself.
Absolutely. It's like anything you want to get good at. Practice, refinement, pushing your limits.
And this growth, it's not just about us as individuals, is it?
No, Covey was big on contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Making a positive impact on the world.
He believed we all have unique talents and gifts.
And that real fulfillment comes from using those gifts to serve others.
That's where it's at.
I keep thinking about that story of the burnt-out executive.
The one who went to the doctor.
Yeah, and the doctor's prescription wasn't pills or therapy.
It was about reconnecting with his values.
Spending time in nature, reflecting on his purpose, finding ways to contribute.
It's a powerful reminder that meaning and purpose are essential.
We need to feel like our lives matter, like we're making a difference.
It's not just about our own personal pursuits.
It's about connecting to something larger than ourselves.
And it's amazing how Covey brings all these threads together.
Yeah.
Time management, relationships, self-care, contribution.
It's not just about getting things done.
It's about becoming a better human being.
Building stronger connections.
Leaving the world a little bit better than you found it.
His 7 habits really offer a roadmap for that.
They do. For aligning your actions with your values. For making a positive impact.
The best part is, these principles, they're timeless.
They are. They apply just as much today as they did decades ago.
Wow, this has been an incredible deep dive into the 7 habits of highly effective people.
It has. Really insightful.
I feel like I've gained so much, and I'm ready to start putting it all into practice.
That's fantastic. And for our listener out there, if you're feeling inspired,
If you're ready to level up your life,
we highly recommend checking out Covey's book. It's a classic for a reason.
it really can change your life.
And remember, as you start applying these principles, it's a journey, not a sprint.
Be patient with yourself. Celebrate those small wins.
And never stop learning and growing.
That's it for this deep dive. Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Farewell, everyone, and may your journey be filled with purpose, joy, and that deep sense of fulfillment that comes from living a life true to yourself.